What do you get when you cross Heavy Metal Magazine with the WWE? Do a Powerbomb! Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. This week, I want to take us to Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer's Do a Powerbomb, one of the best looking comic books I've seen in years. You guys might know the duo best from their current Transformers run. It's Eisner Award winning. It's easily the best piece of Transformers media there's ever been. So that made me a little bit more curious too. Like, hey, what have these guys been up to? Where did they come from? What else have they done together? And it turns out that rabbit hole leads to an absolute treasure trove. Not only have they worked on Do a Powerbomb, but Daniel Warren Johnson and his creator-owned works, especially Space Mullet, Murder Falcon, Extremity, which was Eisner nominated, and his few works that he's done for Marvel and DC have all been insane, like unreal. Maybe Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer together, Mike Spicer on covers, are the greatest duo working in comic books today, and I am not exaggerating. Wait till you see what this book looks like if you haven't seen it before. Now, I'm not a wrestling guy. I played like WCW Nitro or whatever that game was called for Nintendo 64 when I was a kid against my brother, and that was fun. And maybe for like 5 minutes, I thought Sting was cool and Kane was cool and The Undertaker was cool, but I wasn't into the whole thing really. I don't know. It kind of just passed me by. But you do not need to be a wrestling fan to enjoy Do a Powerbomb. Guys, this is like Dragon Ball Z's Budokan tournament, like just on steroids. It's unbelievable. I almost don't know what to say about it. My hair is so blown back, literally, by this book. You know, it's funny too. It's a bit ironic. I'm wearing my Street Fighter shirt and we're about to talk about a wrestling book. I haven't seen as good character design since, I don't even know. I want to live in this universe, whatever it is. So without further ado, okay, let's take a look at Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer's Do a Powerbomb, one of the best looking comic books I've ever seen. Now guys, this is a cover, right? What are we doing with ourselves if we are not appreciating works like this? I mean, what the? You got the high flying Cobra Sun we're gonna come to know as. You've got this it's just an insane scene. The crowd is amazing. There's a Space Mullet shout out here from Daniel Warren Johnson. It just like captures the energy of the book. And by the way, the lettering, this explosive style of lettering, like you feel the emotions of the book so much. The sounds, you know, okay, fine. I'll just open it. So here it is, and just prepare yourself, right? Okay, 3, 2, 1, watch for your hair to be blown back by this unbelievable first page. Holy smoke, right? You don't need to be a wrestling fan to look at this and just be blown away by this art. Guys, Daniel Warren Johnson art, I almost wish he was the only guy doing art at this point. I mean, just look at this. It's unreal what he's doing. The skulls in the crowd, the size of the Cobra Sun head in the background, you a steel rose. Look at this verses. This is so old school, like harkens back to our favorite, you know, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, like I said. It's unbelievable. I love the personality he brings to the names as well. And the character design, like I was saying, it's just unreal. And by the way, there's a lot of storytelling happening on this page too, even though it might just look, you know, all flash, no, you know, substance. That's certainly not the case. He's as fun a writer as he is an artist. We have someone, as you can see here, watching this event take place. And I don't want to spoil this story, by the way. So I'm going to just show us like, you know, the first little bit of this. I don't want to flip all the way through because it's a newer book and I'm sure there are people out there who haven't read it. So I don't want to ruin this. We've got someone, however, watching this event take place. More on that later. Just notice like how the storytelling comes through the panels. I love good cartooning, guys. I think the storytelling in his art is as strong as his art is. It's amazing. You get the sense that this fight is taking place, right? A mother, a husband, a husband and wife, their daughter, little daughter come to see the event, an uncle. You know, there's this major family dynamic here, like a wrestling family, growing up with it in the family. And here comes the show. So you, a Steel Rose, fighting for the belt. Look at the incredible amount of detail, the sounds of the crowd, the sounds of the music, the announcers' voices. It's super, super well done. And what is there even to say about the color? Guys, I can't think of a duo in comics that work together so well. Like, who else would you want coloring Daniel Warren Johnson's art? It's unreal looking. Look at how it pops too when Cobra Sun comes out. He's like the heel, right? He comes out, they get into this huge fight. Look at the way Yua Steel Rose flies through the air. The impact of her foot on his head. You can feel the crack. I love the lettering so much. The cheering, it's great. And I don't even like wrestling, and I don't particularly care for like overdone action sequences, but these are like nothing else, truly. Look at this. The angle he takes here is amazing, in my opinion. This like from the ground up angle, so you really get a sense of the height of Cobra Sun's leap into the crowd as he's about to, power bomb or whatever you would call this move, Yua Steel Rose. It's so cool. And look at that color in the background, like filling in this arena, the darks, the whites, the splatter, the sounds of the crowd, the crashing of the bodies, all these different faces. The amount of detail is truly staggering. Now, here's where things get crazy. We all know wrestling is scripted. We all know who our winners and losers are. But unfortunately, every once in a while, accidents take place. Now, if you've ever heard Hulk Hogan give an interview about accidents, he'll tell you he had his legs broken and his spine broken and his biceps ruptured, until you realize that guy made up everything he ever said. Here, a real accident takes place. And unfortunately, the accident happens right here where Cobra Sun steps onto the top rope and slips and drops Yua Steel Rose to her death, unfortunately, right in front of her young daughter. So begins our story. It's a really heartfelt moment. You can see the anguish on the faces and the regret in Cobra Sun, and this very creepy sort of an onlooker, that same onlooker from earlier. So here's the thing. This story is about, and what an awesome shot here too. What an awesome shot of the childhood bedroom. Guys, did we not all dream of a bedroom like this when we were kids? It's so friggin' cool. This story, as I was saying, is about a daughter who lost her mother, who's given the chance to rescue her from the dead, to resurrect her, if she fights in the tournament of a necromancer, okay, who is a huge wrestling fan and who doesn't realize it's all scripted. So these fights, they're for real. And they're against some like totally interdimensional wrestlers, things we've never seen. Now, I can't spoil it all. I really can't. I would be doing you, it would be like stealing from you if I showed you the rest of this book. But just from what you're seeing here, these moments, these movements, these explosions, these colors, these characters, you know what you're in for with Do a Powerbomb. And I think it's no wonder that we're seeing so much more of Daniel Warren Johnson these days. Guys, I can't recommend enough either his earlier work, Murder Falcon. I actually have it right here next to me. I can just drop it right here. You can just literally look at it. I even bookmarked it to shoot an episode. I'm not going to today. We're not going to talk about it today. I was thinking about it though. It's as cool. It's as electric as his work here is on Do or Powerbomb. And if you know his Transformers work, the Transformers work he's doing right now on that new Energon universe, Robert Kirkman's up to at Image, you know how cool an artist he is and how good a storyteller he is. And if you don't know his Transformers work, and if you're a guy who's not into Transformers, get into Transformers, because I'll tell you, I wasn't a wrestling fan, and now and I've loved this wrestling book. I wasn't a Transformers guy, and I can't wait to show you the Transformers hardcover in April when it comes out. That's the only reason I haven't talked about it yet. And by the way, here enters our Necromancer, to jump back to the book, with this deal, like almost like a deal with the devil situation. You're gonna fight in my tournament because I'll bring your mother back from the dead if you win it. And I mean, a crazy, crazy character design. And then, wow, what a splash page as he introduces himself and introduces his home world. You know, he takes her into a different dimension. Here, now, I don't even know if I want to say. The kicker is, this is a tag team tournament, and she's going to need a partner. And you can just maybe, even from what you've seen here, take a wild guess at who that might be. So, wow, do a power bomb. Look at this awesome sketch of what's going to be the second chapter. I really don't want to say any more about it. I think it would be a huge spoiler if I did, but I can't recommend Daniel Warren Johnson's work enough. And I really think everybody, every comic book fan, owes it to themselves to go out and get it. He's incredible, and Mike Spicer on colors is incredible, and that's a duo that I hope we see for a long time. So that's been the show this week, guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'm Dill Comic Books. See you next week.